Well, it's your favorite Compas, and we are back with another packed episode of Lunes Live. We'll recap UFC 300. We were there on Saturday night in Las Vegas. We'll go over our takeaways from the card, plus the fight announcements from Dana White. Plus, we cap off the show with the latest NFL news and the rest of the world of sports. All right, Gilberto, don't you have a question for our viewers and or listeners?
Yes, I do, Fernando, and I still can't believe what Max freaking Holloway did in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena for UFC 300. We were there. We were watching from the presser area, and there was about 10 seconds left. Max Holloway said, "Get in the center of the octagon." I was going to say ring for a bit. Octagon, and let's throw it down. And Justin Gaethje said, "Let's do it." And he knocked him out with 2 seconds to go. So that is the engagement question of the week. Did Max freaking Holloway deliver the greatest knockout in UFC history? Fernando, I almost said in combat sports history, but I shouldn't, leave out boxing. There's a bunch of great KOs in boxing. So I'll narrow it to UFC. In the comments, if you're watching live, let us know, did Max Holloway deliver the greatest KO in UFC history? I want to say it's up there. A big event, 10 seconds ago, saying get in the middle, and then the 2 seconds ago at the buzzer. I want to say yes, but then again, I'm kind of new to this game. Maybe we could ask Adam Hill that question in the future. But Fernando, maybe you could give your answer. You don't have to, but that is my question for the engagement question of the week.
Because it was like a buzzer beater. I mean, it was pretty entertaining. Like the fact that it was a buzzer beater, it was cool. But no, I mean, I can't think off the top of my head. But I feel like I don't want to live in the moment and say, "Oh yeah, it was."
Yeah.
So I'm gonna chill back a little bit. Jorge did say answer no, but it was entertaining AF.
What do
It
you
really was.
counter,
What's up, Jorge?
Give us an answer if you have something different. But yeah, what's up?
I just remember like the media room just went nuts when that happened. So it was just like boom, and then he goes down, and you're like, oh crap! Like I couldn't believe I couldn't believe the way that happened. So yeah, no, I definitely I think it's up there for sure, but it was entertaining. Pereira's KO was nice too. He even pushed the referee. Yeah, that was pretty.
That was nice for that was pretty cool. Get out of here, Rev. And it's also nice because he didn't really fully connect, and that shows you the kind of power he has.
Exactly. Gilbert, obviously we were there. You did something extra on the side there, and it all has to do with one thing and one thing only. Can you talk about that one thing and one thing only?
Yeah, it's the Compas on the Beat newsletter. Jorge, you already signed up, so we appreciate you. But if you haven't done so, go to compasonthebeat.com. Find the shiny gold box in the home screen. Boop, pops up. Just type in your email, and you're automatically subscribed to the Compas on the Beat newsletter. And yeah, Fernando, I'm trying new things. I was trying to do like live results and takeaways of the event. And after a while, I was like, this is too much. So I'll just kind of post a winner and I'll do like a census here or there. But the cool part is that we're posting our YouTube videos on that blog there. So check it out, compasonthebeat.com/blog. You'll see all the content, or subscribe, and we will send you the email automatically for an easier kind of setup there. So compasonthebeat.com, sign up to the newsletter, and be a compa, tell a compa about the Compas on the Beat newsletter.
Welcome to Compas on the Beat. I'm Fernando Ramirez. I cover the Charge for the Sporting Tribune. With me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Gilbert Manzano, covers the NFL for Sports Illustrated. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? Eventually, we got to get your brother to start doing more promos. I'm doing all the work here, Fernando. I was your driver over the weekend. I was your camera guy over the weekend. I was your writer. I was your promo guy. I wasn't your video editor. That was all you. That was all the work by you, because I am learning about this process of being a video guy. Shaky camera, crooked camera, zooming in, memory card. It was all chaos, but you made it look better.
It's a learning process.
It is. Like I was watching everybody's camera to see, like, okay, what do you do there? What do you do there? What do you do that? What do you do for this? But you know what? I thought it came out pretty well.
I was Gilbert's entertainment on that drive, so don't think that he did all the work. I was his entertainment. But
you know what? I do appreciate you trying to stay awake when we left at 6 a.m. on a Sunday. You didn't have to, but I did appreciate that.
No. I know I had Bob once or twice, but
it was like crazy. 4 times.
I mean, we didn't get back. Jorge's starting it off. It wouldn't be a Compas episode.
I started every show, man. Come on, I have to kick it off. It's either complain or Dan and Diego, and then we're going.
Well, obviously, just to give you guys a little bit of behind the scenes before we get into UFC 300, but Gilbert and I, obviously, we drove straight to the arena. Got there at about 1:45. The line was already long for the media credentials. They didn't open till 2. And then by the time we were done working, and then obviously Adam Hill had to chat us up and ask us if we were going to go out after. It was 1:30 in the morning. He's like, "Are we going to go out?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? No, we got to go to the Airbnb for at least 3 or 4 hours." So we get to the Airbnb at about 2 a.m. And then I still was cutting, editing, uploading. Gilbert was posting on social media because our social media manager had already gone to bed. But it was definitely yeah, no, Jorge, it is part of the job. So we were credentialed. So yeah, we were in there doing interviews and stuff. I even asked a couple of questions.
Yeah.
And I made a new friend, a new compa
Yeah.
in
Diego
Diego
Lopez or
Flores.
Lopez? I'm not. We gotta figure. No, Diego Lopez or Lopez.
Lopez. Yeah, Lopez. Why did I say Flores?
Somebody
My
said
bad. Yeah,
Lopes
yeah.
on the presser, and I want to say it could be Lopes because there's an S at the end and not a Z. So I don't know.
Oh, Lopes. Yeah, that is
Next
true.
next time,
But
ask El Carnal because that's what he called you, right?
I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna. That was actually pretty funny though. But we got back to the Airbnb. We worked till about 3:30. Yeah, and then Gilbert
yeah.
and I were already up at 6. Well, Gilbert's like, I'm gonna get up at 6:15 to shower, or 6 to shower. I'm like, okay. I checked my
Oh,
clock. It was 6:15, and he was barely opening the door. So I'm like, okay. I was
I
like, this
still
is
got up, right?
no,
I mean,
I know. And then we
there's one
jumped
thing
in
I
the
wake
car
up
and we
early
got
for is for like a flight or to miss traffic, and that's what we did.
Well, Jorge says it's like Lopez, so it's Lopes, but it's like Lopez.
Maybe the person who asked the question at the presser got it wrong, but maybe he heard the broadcast more than we did because we're in the back. So maybe it is
Yeah.
Lopez.
Yeah. So yeah, Jorge, Jorge was watching that. But yeah, no, we were up very late, so we did it all to get all that content out there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, the big news. Should we do with the big news, Gilbert,
I was
or
gonna
talk
say
more
it's
about the fight?
supposed to be a UFC 300 recap, but let's get to the
Well,
return.
Jorge's already excited. He already put it up there. Obviously, the big news. Dana White was sitting there, and he gets handed a paper. He's like, "Oh wow, I never get handed a paper." And he's like, "All right, announcements at UFC 301. It will be 301, right?
302. He started with 302 and then
302,
303.
302. Yeah. At 302, it's gonna be uh Dustin Poirier versus Islam, and everybody's like, "Oh wow, okay." He's like, co-main event. Everybody's like, "Okay." He's like, Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa,
You got it.
and
Correct.
then he goes UFC 303, and then there's
He looks
like
up.
a hard pause. He looks up at everybody. Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler, and everybody's like, "Oh crap!" Like, obviously, Gilbert and I start chatting after that. We're like, "Okay, we need to be here for that. That's how long are we going to be there?" And Gilbert's like, "Fernando, you've never experienced Conor McGregor fight week." He's like, "We need to come out a couple of days earlier so that you can experience the whole thing." He's like, Gilbert literally called it cinema. You know what I've been saying about Roman Reigns, The Rock, everything that WWE did. I was like, cinema. He's like, this is cinema for that. So yeah, it was pretty interesting to see all of that. But yeah, Jorge's already saying that Conor's gonna lose. I mean, he hasn't been active. I give him credit though. I mean, the dude doesn't say, "Oh, I'm gonna fight some scrub and just beat him up and then go to the next fight." I mean, Conor does go for it all. But
Yeah.
I kind of like in remember in The Longest Yard, we're convicts, man. We always go for it all. And then Michael Irvin's like, that's why we ended up in the joint. But I give Conor credit for that. He goes all in. He doesn't back down, and it's gonna be interesting to see kind of what, because this isn't Jake Gyllenhaal versus him. This is gonna be Michael Chandler, who we've seen. The dude has a lot of fight. He has a lot of grit, and it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, Jorge, he's gonna be 36 years old. That is true.
Yeah, in terms of matchup and style, this is a great fight because Michael Chandler, he's a striker like Conor McGregor. They both have power in their punches, but Michael Chandler's been more active. But I kind of feel bad for Michael Chandler, Fernando, because he's been waiting for Conor McGregor to return
Yeah.
event. Like they finished the
He even
Ultimate
called him
Fighter
out on
a
Monday
year
Night
ago.
Raw.
Yeah, it's like, what are we waiting for? So he's kind of, going. He's kind of. I don't shouldn't say wasted, but he's waiting in his prime because of payday. It's red panty night. That's what Conor McGregor says when you fight Conor McGregor. So he was waiting and waiting. So maybe that's kind of part of the strategy. Like long layout for Chandler and Conor McGregor. Fernando, I told you flat out before the announcement of the fight, I'm picking Michael Chandler all the way. And then Dana White said 170 pounds. So he doesn't need to cut a bunch of weight now. And are you guys surprised it's at 175 and 190? 190 is too big. Victor or Compas on the beat. But, McGregor started at 145 and then he went to 155. And the only reason he started at 170 or fought at 170 because Nate Diaz was on 2 weeks' notice and he said, screw it, I'll fight Nate Diaz at 170. He got too cocky in his prime and it bit him in the butt. But I told you, Fernando, that was credit to Conor. He in the rematch, 170 and beat him again. So he's experienced at 170. He's probably been walking around like at 190, 180. So it's not a big drop off. And that's where I'm like, I don't know. Maybe ask me in a week or two, Fernando, maybe a month or two. Maybe fight week will fall into the hype. Last year, Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets and Hard Knocks. I picked the Jets to go pretty far. Things like that get me sometimes. But I think right now I'm undecided. But 170 is going to be a key for this fight right here.
I got the whole lowdown because Gilbert obviously is really good at explaining. He was there during that whole time of how all that went. Real quick, if you want to get hyped for this, just real quick, Conor posted this a couple of days ago.
Some of these kids are in the UFC before you're in the UFC. So
I saw that.
As long as you show up for them, maybe if you showed up for them, break your nose, you little fool. Yeah, what little Bellator tick, you little tick. You want to Oh, we're gonna do this. We're gonna fight
Watch
right
Dana.
Now? Get out of my way. Let's go, baby.
Not for free. You're not gonna fight for free. Hold on.
Yeah, no. He's like, we ain't doing this like that. Like, you're gonna
you little Bellator tick. I love the comebacks, man. You little Bellator tick.
Oh, but that's what I'm telling you. Like, I knew as soon as he fought Floyd Mayweather that and Dana White said it. He's making so much effing money now. That's what I was nervous about when he decided to go and do that with Floyd, because I'm like, he's gonna make $100 million, and he's just gonna be like, you know what? Like, it's like they said, once you sleep in Versace sheets, everything changes. And that's what happened here. Everything changed for Conor. Then he says, he was out of breath. That was before he did all that testing to drop all that weight and everything. But once Conor started feeling that, and then he sells his whiskey and he makes all that money off of that too. And he's yacht living. He's doing all this stuff. It's like, why go back there? Like, once you experience that stuff, it's different. I mean, so I'm interested to see what version of Conor McGregor we're going to get. Look, I think regardless, like Jorge said, he's the god of shit talking. Yeah, I think that's the Conor we're going to get. But the Conor in the ring, just the last time I saw him against Poirier, there was a little te dejó deseando más, is basically like he left you wanting. Jorge, you're on one today. Versace.
You don't need to read that comment. We got
it. But that's gonna be the thing. And you're the one that told it to me, Gilbert, on Saturday. Is he going to be the Conor that's hungry to get a victory again in the UFC, or is he going to be the Conor McGregor we've seen these last few years, where he came back, he fought Khabib? Oh, you know what? Cool, peace out. I'm going to go out and do this. And then, by the way, that clip of him going, "Your wife is in me DMs, hey baby," to Dustin Poirier, that was gold. Even though he was hurt and his like shin was broken, he still was crap talking sitting down. But I'm just interested to see what version of Conor, like you said, Gilbert, what version are we gonna get? Because if it's the Conor McGregor that's in the gym every day, he's motivated, he's ready to go, then damn, this might be something incredible to watch. If he's just the Conor coming back to get $80 million to go back and do what he's doing, then, and because I think we talked about it with Adam, and I'll let you get your point across. I'm sorry for taking up all this time. Conor said he wanted to fight 3 times a year, I think, or that recently, that he feels like he could fight 3. That ain't happening. So that's why I'm interested. Is it just all talk? Is it all this and that? Or is this legit? Because I don't think Dana would have made this fight legit unless it was legit. But I'm saying, like, after whatever happens with Michael Chandler, if he loses or whatever happens, what Conor McGregor is going to respond. So that's just my 2 cents there.
I think that's gonna be a part of the build-up for the next 2 months or whatever. What is it, 8-9 weeks? And Fernando, we could say, you know what, at the Row House Media Tour, I've been saying that he looked like he was out of it. He looked like he was having fun, and like Jorge said, he was out there doing things on the hills or the bar, whatever you want to call it. but you still just need an 8 to 9 week camp. We're in that moment. He could go train right now, go high, do what you got to do, and just work your butt off here, and just be in the moment. And then Fernando, after what you just laid out, that might be enough motivation. This is me trying to sell myself into thinking Conor McGregor is gonna be all the way back. People call him old. He lost the last 2 fights back to back against Dustin Poirier. He got his leg broken. People think he's on, whatever mountain you want to call it. He's having fun too much. He's not the same guy. Maybe being away for a couple of years. I forget the last time. Maybe 2 years. I forget how long it's been. You hear that. You're washed up. You're old. You're just a money maker. Like, remember in WWE, you're a part-timer, John Cena called The Rock. You're not the same dude anymore. You don't train anymore. And maybe those 2 Dustin Poirier fights were like, I didn't train hard enough. I wasn't ready to go. Maybe being away for a little bit might be the right way to go. So we're gonna have that fight week hype, but right now I think I'm leaning more Michael Chandler, but the 170 having it on his terms, Conor could make it work.
Yeah, no, I completely agree on that.
Oh yeah,
hey baby, hit me back on my
freaking guy.
The win nightclub, baby. You're looking big, you little.
That guy's wild.
But that's the other part, Fernando, that could be a downside. If he's mentally saying, you know what, I could have beaten Poirier if I never got hurt. I never got hurt. That could be a downfall too. If he's thinking that way, he should think, you know what, I got my ass whooped 2 times. I got to come back stronger. And a lot of Conor fans are actually they're defending him for that too. I hate that a lot of Conor McGregor fans say he got his leg broken. He would have beat him. Yeah, freaking right. Sorry, how to say that.
We never know.
I know.
Or hey, you're talking
Conor,
about WWE's,
no.
WWE's fake. Guess what? One of your favorite UFC guys is headed to WWE pretty soon. So I would chill on that. Why do you think WWE is going to Netflix? They want your boy. They want the Irishman there. That's what they keep on saying, that they want him. I saw somewhere where Becky Lynch was asked about it, and she was asked about Conor, and she's like, it would be my dream to wrestle with Conor McGregor in a tag team match. I'm like, damn, that actually would be pretty fire. But yeah, you never know. Yeah, McGregor's always teased about going to WWE. He's always talked about it. He said he's even talked about guys like Sheamus and some other guys before. He's talked crap about them. So yeah, no, he would be perfect. Yeah, he could be perfect. It would just have to be the right scenario. But
he did Roadhouse. He has experience now on the microphone.
Yeah. I mean, we saw what's his name in WWE also, and I think he said after Tyson Fury said in a couple months he wants to go back to. Yeah, it wouldn't be real fighting. I get it, but still, it's fun.
Jorge has a way to agitate all you and I, but not with Dan. That's it.
No, he doesn't agitate me. It's just that
you know it's bothering you, all the WWE trash talk. You know it's bothering you a little bit. Go ahead, Jorge.
No, because I enjoy it. I enjoy the back and forth, and we love Jorge on this show. So yeah. So Mimsy and Jorge were inviting us. Don't forget to that tailgate. It's fake. Just saying, it's choreographed. It's not fake.
There you go. Scripted.
They still throw themselves off of ladders. I guess we have to talk about Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje. I mean, Gilbert leading up to it. And I know because I was obviously doing all of the editing for the videos and everything that you got, obviously, at the press conference. Justin Gaethje said, I don't think about tomorrow. I don't think about anything because I'm going to war the day that I fight. I go to war. I don't plan on the next day. I don't plan on surviving that fight. Man, that's what this was, going back and forth, the way they did what they did. I was just and the most incredible part is that you and I mentioned it, even Dana mentioned it. You're up 4-1 if you're Max Holloway. And Max Holloway even talked about it today on the Pat McAfee show as well. And he said it after. He was up 4-1, but he's like, there was no other way for me to go but 100%. I know, and I respect Gaethje enough to be like, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go for this. If I'm going to win, I want to win my way. And he won his way. So I was really impressed with the way Max Holloway just said F it and went for it. And the way they traded blows, the way they went at it at the end, it was just so impressive. He had everything to lose, but sometimes when you risk it, you get the biscuit. And that's what he did, brother. He kept on saying brother a lot.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, brother. So,
Yeah.
but I was definitely impressed by the way, I showed Dan the clip of the guy asking, he's like, "Hey, why don't you do what Bellator did?" Are you kidding me? That's what you're asking me? He's
A little Bellator tech.
yeah, exactly. Dana was not happy about they just did a buy two, get two tickets free. So, but man, and what Jorge's saying is true. A lot of people, I think, had lost their confidence in Max Holloway after losing to Volkanovski so many times, but he's something else. And I know now he set his sights and he said, I have different avenues. I have a lot of different places I can go to with this victory. So it's going to be interesting to see. But what did you think of that matchup?
I think Max Holloway added prestige to the BMF belt, and a lot of people are saying the BMF belt is not a real belt. And remember, for now, they were hyping up the card, 3 title fights. Like, what? The BMF belt's a title fight? It's a championship fight? Well, when you know what the BMF title stands for, and people are actually gonna respect that. I saw that happen on Saturday night, and it started with Nate Diaz and Masvidal. We didn't get the full BMF because Nate Diaz, I think the eye got cut, and they stopped the fight there. They're gonna box on June 1st, by the way, too. In the chapter right there, that's the way they're gonna sell that fight. But when Max Holloway said, "You know what? It was if the tables were turned and I was down on the fight, and Justin Gaethje gave me one opportunity with 10 seconds to go to maybe steal that victory, he would have done that for me because the BMF is not about killing the clock, running around, and just being a boring fighter. Dana White was not happy with Aljamain Sterling because that fight was boring. The BMF is all about throwing it down. Who cares about styles and skills? And skills pay the bills. No, you better be the baddest mother freaker. That's what Mark Coleman said, right? Baddest mother freaker to kind of keep it PG. And I think Max Holloway brought that. He just let's go, throw it down in the middle, engage you to his credit. Man, sometimes these hits are gonna hurt him in the future. That sucks. I get that, but these guys are all men. They make their own choices, and they want to throw it down to the finish. And that 2 seconds ago, he connected on the right hand. He fell. I told you, Fernando, I think he might have gone to the scorecards. No way that knockout was in there. Saw the replay 1 second ago. The official said it's over. So the prestige, the BMF belt. I'm with Dana White. Make that a real belt like the way he's been doing. Keep it going. I love it.
Jorge, did you ever watch Blue Mountain State? Because if you did, we don't talk about the C word. We don't talk about the C word. We don't use that C word.
Yeah, that stuff for BMF, forget about it. Okay, nobody cares about that.
I really think that obviously, like you said, Max Holloway brought prestige to that belt. Now it's going to be interesting to see again what route he decides to go with it. But man, it's exciting to watch.
Options,
where,
baby. Oh, brother.
Yeah, exactly,
options,
brother. I have a lot of options, brother. But it was, why do I sound like Tito from Rocket Power? But the ancient Hawaiians had a saying. But I definitely, I thought that obviously was a match. You know what? Juan Manuel Marquez knocking out Pacquiao. I think that was a better knockout.
In terms of all
I'll give you that
sports,
one. Yeah, I think that knockout was something that you had never seen. And I don't care if he stepped on his foot or whatever the hell happened. His hand connected with his face and he knocked him out. And then he put him down. And then I remember the mom was sitting there like casting spells and stuff. And I remember Floyd Mayweather used the what's it called? Use the Simba thing to post.
Get up.
Yeah, get up.
That is the best time counterpunch in combat sports history. I'll give you that. That's for sure.
That was nasty,
like,
but boom. Exactly. Jorge Uncle Tito. Yeah, hey brother. I loved the ancient Hawaiians had a thing. Yeah, exactly. But moving on to obviously Alex Pereira and Jamal Hill had a lot of respect for each other leading up to the press conference. They Jamal Hill asked him for his autograph. Who knows if it was playing mind games or what it was. But then some of the antics happened at the press conference that kind of I thought Alex was kind of even keel when you talked to him on Wednesday. I thought he was even keel. Friday, I thought he got a little bit, he kicked it up a notch, but then I thought Saturday when he was walking in, I think his demeanor changed a lot. And that was one of the best. The way he took it in that fight, I just couldn't, but you saw, he did the bow and arrow thing, and then Jamal Hill grabbed it and like supposedly broke it. He wanted to be outside of the ring when he was walking up, but they told him no. So it was just a lot of antics by Jamal, and it ended up not paying off for him. But and then, like you said, Gilbert, when we first started this a couple of minutes ago, about 30 minutes ago, you said he didn't even fully connect in the punch when he knocked him out. Can you imagine if he would have actually connected? You saw, and Joe Rogan even said it on the broadcast. His eyes rolled into the back of his head. Yeah, you look like Danny Dimes from his press conference today. I don't know if you saw that video.
He's always looking like that, but I gotta see
today
it.
Today he kicked it up a notch.
Okay.
But just what did you make of that?
Yeah, man. Alex
Not
Pereira
Danny Dimes, obviously.
We'll get to football in a bit. But Alex Pereira has become one of my favorite fighters in the UFC, and it's getting to the point where, like, I don't care this guy doesn't speak English. He's hyping him, he's selling himself good enough, but just being a terror and a monster, and that's building hype. And it's getting to the point where, like, every time he finishes the presser, I say "chama" with him too. Like, I'm kind of into the whole chama, I don't even know what it means. I gotta look it up. As Brazilian, right? And then I can't even pronounce his nicknames at Poltan. Like, I gotta look into all this stuff. Even though I'm an Alex Pereira fan, but he's just, one of the best pound for pound. I think we're going to be asked that question later. But he's just a scary dude, man. And you don't want to piss that guy off. And now he's getting a persona where, like, when he cuts his hair, when he has hair growing, he's a nice guy, I bet. But then when he goes with the shaved bald look, even the mustache is gone. There you go, Poltan. Look at what that means, Jorge, if you can. Actually, I got to do that. But he has the bow and arrow. He had, I know Jamal Hill brought out the mask, the statue there to piss him off. And he said, you know what? Oh, that's what it means. Awesome. There you go. That's perfectly well said. I gotta learn my Brazilian. Sometimes I feel like we know Portuguese because it sounds like Spanish, and I always try to catch things. Okay, I get what he's saying there, but not really. But I caught when he said, yeah, Jamal Hill went from Monday to the presser. He became disrespectful, and that agitated Alex Pereira. So, dude, he has power in his punches. He has powers in his kick. He has length. And we all saw what he did to Adesanya. Adesanya is so good that he won't be beaten 4 or 5 times. So he got him one time. But to make him, struggle with three out of the 4 times of the series and then knock him out in kickboxing, he's a terror. And Adesanya is no pushover. So, what he did to Jamal Hill, and I get it. He jumped on the show with us. We love Jamal Hill. We love his antics. He's a villain. Go ahead and embrace it, like we always say, Fernando. It just wasn't his night. He went up against a monster, coming back from a torn Achilles after, he popped it playing basketball. It was a lot of ask. But maybe when you want to be the villain, don't push that guy too hard. Hey, but he's fun to watch.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with all of that, especially because he even said, I want to go up to heavyweight. So now it's
I would have put it past him. Did you catch, Fernando, that Dana White said he shouldn't do that? I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know if you agree with that, but he said don't do it.
I think sometimes, like, when we get I think what Dana's kind of saying to him is, like, you're in a good spot right now. I wouldn't try and jump up and do anything crazy. I don't know if he can go with Jon Jones yet. Jorge, I think Jon Jones would have to fight
Tom Aspinall.
Tom. Yeah. He'd have to fight
Tom.
But
when is Jon Jones going to come back? That's the question. Is he going to be coming back? Like, we looked it up. It's been a year and a half, a layoff.
Did he get a thank you, sir. Did he get a toe? He had a toe injury, right? Or he had a
I forget.
No, he had something. I know did he just get arrested again for a DUI recently?
I don't think so. I think it was an injury this time around, but that could always be something.
I remember. I thought I read somewhere that he did. Maybe it was Chandler, the one that did. God, the only one. I guess the only normal one is Arthur Jones, Super Bowl champion. Well, they're all good. Actually, they're all champions if you think about it.
Yeah,
all the Joneses have won. Yeah. He won a Super Bowl, and Arthur Jones won a Super Bowl. Chandler's won a Super Bowl. And obviously, Jon Jones is one of the best.
I'm not sure if Chandler Jones did it with the Patriots. He might have been one of those Patriots. Was he part of the Malcolm Butler?
I thought he was a part of it because there was 3.
Because then he went to the Cardinals, and then he went to the Raiders and other teams.
The Raiders. The only game that he had that was really good with the Raiders was the one against the Patriots. Super Bowl champion. He won XLI. The one against the Seahawks.
There we go. I wasn't sure he was part of that one.
Yeah, he was.
Bill Belichick, he was quick to cut people. He didn't care how good they were, so I wasn't sure.
I don't know what he knew or what he didn't know. But by the way, did you see that Dynasty documentary has a lot of like
I
ex-Patriots players
haven't.
pissed?
Is it?
So,
Oh, they haven't pissed.
so
Is it?
Julian Edelman didn't like the way that supposedly Wes Welker talked about Bill Belichick, and that's they don't like some of the some Patriots ex-Patriot players, especially Julian Edelman, doesn't like the way it portrayed Bill. So that's kind of been the running thing, I guess, lately is that Bill
I've been
is
wondering
portrayed in a
if I
negative.
should watch it. If I should watch it, but
I haven't watched it yet, but I'll let you know if I do end up watching it.
and I forget real quick. You know what? I'll give it a pass. A Compas on the Beat, our channel says that's Roberto Duran's nickname, though, Hands of Stone, but it's in Brazilian or Portuguese. Jesus, sorry. So I give him a pass. I don't know what you think, Fernando, but stealing the name.
I mean, I guess things evolve. Like it's like to the next generation. I mean, that's kind of the way. I mean, how many times haven't we seen them steal? I mean, how creative can you
Yeah.
really get with nicknames? I
How
like
many
Tim Zoo's.
sugars are out there?
Yeah, exactly. Tim Zoo's nickname I liked.
What was it again?
The Grim Reaper? No, the one of those things. Like it was something like that. Like
I feel like that one's been taken, but it might have. It's like, was it like Soul Snatcher or something like that?
yeah, something like yeah. The Soul Taker.
There you go. I think I've heard that a couple of times, but yeah.
Jorge doesn't care.
Yeah, there you go.
One impressive debut, obviously, was we'll get to Armand in a second. Kayla Harrison versus Holly Holm. Obviously, Gilbert. The interesting part here, I don't know if you read the comments on our YouTube video, but some people were like, "Get her on a PED test. Like she has to be taking something." And I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, you guys are crazy for that. But I'm wondering what's obviously. Amanda Nunes and some of these people were impressed by her debut because Amanda Nunes responded. By the way, Dana White, when they mentioned Chris Cyborg, his reaction was actually pretty funny. But
Yeah.
Jorge. Some people thought that she looked like she was on something, but she just ripped. And I guess she was like, she weighed what, 150, something, and then got down to 135, and then
I think
jumped
she might
back
even
up.
said 160. So
Yeah. So that's the problem. Jorge,
a weight
is that a lot of
bully.
people were saying,
to cut that much weight and then still be that in shape and ripped, there are some question marks. But I'm not.
Well, you heard
accuse
Sterling
anybody
say that he would never go down to 135 because he wouldn't do that to his body again.
Just to do 10 pounds like that, and then she's doing one, and she's not a young fighter. She's like in her 30s, and then to cut that much weight, I don't know. I'm not gonna point fingers. I'm not gonna do that. But yeah,
they're all on
hard.
something. Well, let me just get your thoughts on Kayla Harrison's debut, and then obviously the fact that people like Chris Cyborg and Amanda Nunes are calling her out, because even Dana said, I thought Amanda retired way too early. There was no competition. Now there's starting to be more competition. What do you think about that? Do you feel like she was that impressive that she even got Amanda Nunes's attention?
Well, if she's able to make the weight every time, I guess it's 135, right? Then yeah, it adds to the division. And I don't know, man. Kayla Harrison, she's like 33 years old. How long can you keep this going? Like maybe get one more fight to prove you're the real deal. I don't know who's really out there to maybe convince Amanda Nunes that she's the real deal, but keep making the weight, keep dominating, and then you build up the fight, and Amanda Nunes gets her paid because we saw what she did. Like, you know, it's unfortunate for Amanda. She never got built up like the Ronda Rousey. Like people didn't find her like that entertaining, but she crushed everybody in her path. She lost a couple of fights early in her career, and then she went on a very dominant run, and she just got bored and said, what else can I do here? I wiped up the whole division. That's a bad part about the women's division. There's not that many weight classes, so the heavier people like Kayla Harrison can't compete. And then she just said, you know what, F it, I need to make the money. She went down and she gave it a shot. So, but it's awesome to potentially have a build-up for Amanda Nunes, but it will have to take place somehow in the next year or two. Like, she's been like, if you stay away too long, you might not be in shape. That being Amanda Nunes, and to keep cutting the weight, that's asking for a lot for Kayla. 303 in June, she could still have a good training camp in 3 months, but she said no way because she can't make the weight.
Yeah, no, and obviously when you do something like that, it's going to take a little bit out of her. But I'm interested to see if they come back and fight. Gilbert, real quick, before I ask you about the last thing, which is Armand and the fans.
Yeah,
we got an update from Jim Miller. Did you hear? No relation to Jeff Miller, our compa. Jim Miller broke his hand in the first round, broke his toe, and received 23 stitches during and after his loss to Bobby Green.
Man, that was. I'm not surprised, but that was a tough watch, Fernando, because I kept saying like, man, end the fight, go down, like you're taking a beating, and
throw the damn
if you're
towel.
like, pretty much, like, it's like, what do you, if you're Bobby Green, what do you do? He never let up. I get it. You got to be a warrior, and then you got
And
to
he
get
would
the
tell him
knockout.
like, just stay down.
And he wouldn't do it. And he was until the last second where he was putting elbows on him and punches. And I felt bad for a guy who's so respected like that, but he's a fighter through and through. He's not gonna give up. So hopefully he's okay and he has a speedy recovery. But hey, Jim effing Miller, he has a lot of cojones, man. And like Adam told us, he was there for UFC 100, 200, 300. He's been around the game a long time.
I wonder if he'll be there for 400.
No more, please.
But he'll be there in some capacity, just not in the ring. Miller got murked by Green. Such a tough watch. Honestly, yeah, throw the towel. That's
Yeah,
too much,
it was
man.
tough, man.
Hey, if Green really does go up against Paddy the Baddy in Manchester, that's going to be badass because I think that would be a very interesting fight.
Yeah.
Between
He called them out.
So,
He's an interesting character. I didn't know much about Bobby Green, and they're like, okay, he has my attention.
It's interesting to watch how many people were calling out Paddy the Baddy, and obviously Topuria also. Like people were just calling out these guys. But Gilbert Armand, obviously after his victory against Charles Oliveira, that was an interesting fight. But then before the fight, he fan tried to grab him and do something to him, so he threw a punch at him. And after Dana goes, yeah, we're probably gonna get effing sued on Monday, but we'll handle that on Monday. But I actually, well, you know what? Let me before I get your, you know what? Yeah, let me get your thoughts on that, and then obviously
I'll give you a two-parter, one for the fight and one for the fan interaction. For the fight, I was actually a little surprised that he got the split decision. I thought maybe Oliveira did a little more. He almost choked him out in the beginning. There goes the cat flying. Okay, he wants to give his opinion. But they asked Armin how did the chokehold feel. He said it was tight. So he was tough enough to get out of that. He fought well. That's the one maybe decision that I didn't really like for Armin, but he impressed me. He was an underdog. He was talking a lot of crap. He was building up his profile. And when you try to beat up a fan, you definitely get more attention. So he did everything right in terms of that bad part there. But I'm not mad at it. It wasn't a total robbery. And also, Fernando, I wasn't watching too closely because I think at that time I got really busy with posting videos and things like that.
Oh, that's true.
But he was getting choked out, and maybe there was a rally there that I missed. I don't want to be too critical. But hey, split decision. It was close regardless. And then in terms of the fan, Fernando, I want to get your thoughts too.
Hold on, before
you want to show it? Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me show it.
Yeah, no, with the audio. Go ahead.
Punching back. That's it. So no other guys, like no one show me fuck you. Doesn't matter who you are, I'm gonna punch you in the face. You can fuck like to show me fuck from the like 200 meters. I'm not gonna punch you. But when you're close to me, it's like automatically, I'm like from Russia. Like don't do that, please.
Yeah.
By the way,
kill the bird from the 200 level, but not from the 100 level.
You know what the craziest part about that whole thing was? That people were fighting in my video because they were saying he's Armenian, not Russian, and so people were like going back and forth about it. I'm like, you guys are really fighting about this?
I think he trains out of Russia though, so yeah, it's kind of like us, probably he was born in Armenia. He lived his whole life in Russia. It's like us, Mexico, and America.
Oh, say can you?
Well, he probably favors more Russia from being out there for so long. Who knows? But also, I think he's part of Khabib's camp because I remember a question on Wednesday. They asked him, how big do you want to be in MMA? He's like, I'm not trying to be like Khabib, but I want to be good enough to win a belt.
I think he's cousins with
they're cousins.
Okay. He's cousins with Hasbulla too.
Get that? Are you serious or are you joking?
No. I'm just messing with you. Jorge, I appreciate
people
that.
are knowing about it. I don't think they know his story. And I think maybe like Armenians, you're saying, he's one of us. And then Russia, they're saying he's one of us. It's probably one of those kind of things, I feel like.
Well, that's kind of like Diego told us. He's like, when I asked him, hey, you're from Brazil, but you live in Mexico. Do you feel like you've gained both fanships? And he's like, yeah, I think I'm slowly gaining both. And I think people really like me and this and that and that. So I think he has two countries that are kind of behind him, especially because we notice he's a rising star. Gilbert, that video of me asking him about his ice cream, you told me to go get a picture. And he kind of tells his handler, like, hey, hold on a second. And he turns and looks at me. And then I start talking to him and I got that video of him. And he was a pretty funny guy. So he's going to be a fan favorite pretty soon, in my opinion, Gilbert.
Yeah, and before I got to Lopez there, Diego, you know, I don't know if you saw the video, but it felt like maybe Armin got a little. He rushed the punch too much. I think the fan was just trying to like touch him like that. It wasn't like unless he said something bad. I don't know, but maybe he said, you know what,
Yeah, I don't know.
you're bleeping bleeping bleep, and then I really ignored him, and then he touched him. But it kind of was like, hey, how you doing? Touch me, kind of, give me my hand, kind of bull crap. And he got too annoyed about that, and I don't know how much he connected when he went to the stands like that. But that's not the way you want to start a
Maybe
fight
it was like
either.
Pereira.
Yeah, and then he knocked him out. But I don't know how I feel about that. But fans shouldn't touch the fighter at all. We see it in WWE sometimes. I think I've seen those videos of Rhea Ripley, and they're like, "Hey, Rhea, can you give me a high five?" And she scares them, like stuff like that. I get fans want to do that sometimes, but I don't know. I could see both sides here. But yeah, if you want to, throw him the bird from the 200 level, go ahead. And real quick on Diego Lopez, man, he was so impressive on Saturday. Seeing his interview on Wednesday and Saturday, this guy, a rising star. People like him. He's a fan favorite. And then he knows Spanish, Portuguese, learning some English. He seems like a guy who's going to be a star in the next couple of years.
Jorge, who do you have winning, or who do you think he beats Armin to become the champion? Just put that in the comment and we'll throw it up there. But all right, without further ado, let's bring in Vic, the producer, to go over rapid fire, and then Jorge, he might be here. We don't know yet, but we'll see if he's here or not. What did he say? Fans gotta
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. Fans want to put hands on these guys. They're gonna catch some hands. Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I definitely think that people need to keep their hands to themselves. If not, you're gonna get touched up. But all right, let's bring in Vic, the producer. Vic, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. It's good conversation there. It's a good fight, good card, and you guys got a lot of good content there. So it didn't live up to the hype. I was expecting a little bit more from a 300 card, but honestly, that Max Holloway knockout, I think was what made that fight. And I even saw Adam Sales tweet. He's like 24 hours later, I'm still thinking about that knockout, and I'm with him. It was a crazy knockout.
I actually give Zhang Weili a lot of credit. Their fight and Yan, I thought their fight was actually pretty. Like, she was basically asleep, and they had to wake her up to go the next 2 or 3 rounds.
She made it through the buzzer or the horn.
Yeah, so I was actually pretty impressed by that fight. I thought the main event obviously was just the only funny part was that was the only funny part.
I don't know. I'm kind of like Victor in a way. If there wasn't a Max Holloway knockout, I would have been very like, that was cool. It was all right. Yeah. But when the knockout, I'm for sure all in on the UFC 300 card. That made it for sure special.
Yeah. Well, I was interested to see what Kayla was going to look like, and she impressed.
Yeah, that was actually there was a lot of people that fighters that became stars. I feel like in that card.
The only one that just does not pick up anything is Davison on our videos.
Figueiredo, he's
he's the only. Yeah, but all right, Vic, let's get rapid fire started.
All right, Gilbert won last week, so you get to choose whether you want to go first or you want to let Fernando go first.
Punt.
I'll go. I always go first. I'll take the ball.
All right, here we go. So let's start off with some NFL talk here, and we'll start off with Jerry.
Here goes Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah,
I want the ball, and we're gonna score. Pick 6, Tremont Williams.
Yeah, I've won the last 2 weeks, so keep it going.
There we go. All right, let's start off with Jerry Jones. He said the Cowboys were all in before the start of free agency. They've only signed one player, who wasn't re-signed. The other 4 were re-signed by the Cowboys. And they have three players eligible for extension: Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons. How would you guys rank the priority of getting extensions done on the 3 players?
You know what? In most situations, I would have gone with the edge rusher, especially one as dominant as Micah Parsons. But Fernando, I might steal your answer, and I'm going to give you credit right here. You reminded me not too long ago that Micah Parsons sometimes falls asleep when the game's on the line. When it's a clutch moment, you got to step up like a TJ Watt or Aaron Donald. He hasn't had those moments. A couple of times, maybe a strip sack here and there. I got to see a little more from Micah. Obviously, you got to prioritize edge rusher. To me, it's CeeDee Lamb, man. Who's the biggest playmaker on that team? Who's stepping up in the clutch moment? Remember that game against the Detroit Lions? He went 80 yards for a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb is that guy. Like, it's starting to get to a point where CeeDee might be as good as Jefferson. I kind of feel a little hesitant to say that because Jefferson has been a dominant wide receiver, but he got hurt last year. And the year before that was okay. Well, the year before that was actually the dominant one where he got the Triple Crown. Last year he got hurt. But CD has been on that pace the last 2 years. Maybe he didn't get the Triple Crown, but last year he might have been the best wide receiver. Sorry, give me CD Lamb as a priority right now. Pay the guy. He's going into he got drafted in 2020 with Justin Herbert. Pay the man already. Same thing with Justin Jefferson.
No. But what's your order though?
Oh, give me the order. Yeah, for sure. Michael Parsons number 2. Dak Prescott. I'm sorry. I'm glad you gave me the order. Thank you for the reminder. We've seen enough of you, Dak. You're decent, good enough to get to the playoffs, but you always. I should be easy with this. Take a dump on the bed. But yeah, I salute the Jones family for eating that money and taking the big cap hit because it wasn't easy to do. But the guy hasn't shown you anything in the playoffs. Sometimes you got to put pressure on your QB in the year. It seems like this is a year, but if they pay the guy in July in training camp, I'm gonna be shaking my head. Come on, Cowboys.
Vic, I'm gonna win this with 4 words. Gilbert, you missed your opportunity. You could have said Amber heard the bed.
I forgot about that, but yeah, okay, go ahead.
No,
that's on your mind for some reason.
Well, no, because I said shit the bed, and then I was like, oh, you know what? This would have been way better.
Right.
I can't help but not think about either 3 of these players and say I would sign them to an extension. Okay, let me rephrase that. I think the problem here is Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones needs to look in the mirror and say, hey, I'm 80-something years old. I ain't got a lot of time. I got to change this up. He needs to change up his approach. I know we're at the point where he's probably never going to do that, but still, it is embarrassing the fact that you're still living off of 3 Super Bowls that Jimmy Johnson won you when Jimmy Johnson was in control of those teams. So I think he needs to go back to that formula, but I'm just going to go with saying Mike McCarthy is the biggest problem of why this team won't succeed. Last year, you blamed Kellen Moore. You have no contract, and this year, who the hell are you going to blame? It all falls on you once this deteriorates. Not if. Once it deteriorates, this is all going to fall on you. Last year, I didn't think the Cowboys were a good team. I told all you during the whole season, the Cowboys are not a good team. Gilbert would put him in his top 5. Vic would put him in his top 5. Dan would put him in his top. No, I'm kidding. I don't know if you guys all did or not. I'm just talking crap. But I just didn't believe in them because I know what happens. The Cowboys are always going to pull that crap where at the end of the season they falter and then they go into the playoffs and they crap themselves. Gilbert, I remember you were surprised when I told you the Packers are going to win this game because I just have no faith in Mike McCarthy as a coach. I don't think he's a good coach. I don't think he knows what he's doing. I don't think he's transitioned to this new era.
You did pick him, Fernando, but can we get your order already? Jesus.
No, yeah, I'll pick him.
Well, hold on. Crap on the Cowboys.
Huh? The way I'm going to prioritize this is I actually agree with your order. I'll go CD Lamb as the priority just because I was very impressed that even though the Cowboys just completely crapped themselves in that playoff game, CD Lamb was still very efficient. Micah Parsons, there's some questions I have, not just about his game, but everything else. I'm not a fan of the whole podcasting and all this stuff, and I'm just not a big fan of it. And Dak, we already know what he is. If they really do re-sign him, then they deserve everything that they get because Dak may be a great guy. He may be a family man. He may be this. He may be the Campbell's chicken noodle soup guy. He's not a guy that's going to win you a Super Bowl. So, and I mean, that's okay, I guess. If what you want to continue doing is what you're doing, then keep on doing it. But if you want to make changes, it starts with the owner, then the head coach, and then it starts with the quarterback. That's my order right there. But yeah, I'll go with your same order, basically.
I'll give the point here to Gilbert, but Fernando, that was awesome. Honestly, like you going on a rant about the Cowboys. I wish but you didn't answer the question. And I'll say this just to kind of, make a bigger point here. I'm surprised, to your point about Jerry Jones. I'm surprised. Why are you waiting? Why did you wait this long? Now the contracts are going to be astronomical that you're going to have to pay CD Lamb and Micah Parsons, and so it just looks really bad. All right, we're moving on now with Gilbert up 1-0 here, and this question is I made this one specifically for Fernando here. Tom Brady.
Whoa! Gilbert hadn't answered the question until I gave him the assist.
I was quicker to it though.
Shut the hell up! You were about to just. We had already switched the boxes, and I was gonna go. All right, no, I'm kidding. I'm just giving crap.
That's for saying
I
they put
know,
him in the
I
top
love
5.
this.
You threw in
Yeah.
Victor in your rant. That's why.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you did throw the guy who
Thank
is
you, Jorge. This is rigged.
All right, next one. Tom Brady was on the Deep Cut podcast and said Josh Allen will be the next quarterback to win the first Super Bowl, to win his first Super Bowl. Do you guys agree with him, or who would you guys think would be, or who do you guys think will be the next quarterback to win their first Super Bowl?
Think wisely, because Dan and Dale might jump on soon, Fernando. He's gonna get annoyed.
And I really want to pick who I'm thinking of right now, just because of who the head coach is.
Mm.
But I really think that this year is the all-in year for the Cincinnati Bengals. I really think that this is their all-in year. You're about to lose T. Higgins. You still haven't paid Jamar Chase. I always want to call him Taj Boyd. That's not his name. Tyler Boyd is no longer there. But I think the Bengals, I think this is their window. They have a lot of contracts out for big time players. Joe Burrow's contract is about to take over. I think it's Joe Burrow that has to win. Well, it's not who has to win it, I guess, but I'll go Joe Burrow. I think he wins his first Super Bowl. He's the next young quarterback to win his first Super Bowl. And like it or not, I know that the Chiefs players talk a lot of crap about it. The Bengals do kind of have a score to settle with the Chiefs, so I'll say Joe Burrow.
If you got a good answer, Fernando, I won't go there because I'll say I think the T. Higgins dilemma is gonna linger like a bad cloud. Like he's might be on the way out. They won't pay the guy. He kind of got forced into
Go get
sticking
Romeo
around.
jump up and go get Romeo Odunze.
If they think ahead and they're smart like the Eagles usually do when it comes to situations like that, then maybe you're gonna be right for sure.
Like
I feel
Fernando
like,
is.
or Fernando, or but and just to say, just to kind of add to it, Dan, I don't know if you're watching or maybe you're behind Mo's
If
Tavern
you say
right now.
Tua Tagovailoa, I think that that glass is gonna break.
I'm just gonna say I can't say Justin Herbert because I think the Chargers are in rebuild mode. I like Jim Harbaugh. It might take a couple of years. I can't do it. But you know what? This one just there goes the cat. This one just is. I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders just yet, but I like the guy so much,
Stroud.
and
CJ
Stroud. They helped them out with Stephon Diggs. They helped them out with Joe Mixon. They got Daniel Hunter. So that that could be the problem. I get
There's 3 problems. No, Daniel Hunter's not problematic, right? It's just the other 2.
No. He's just a little older.
Who's the one that jumped out of the ambulance? No, that was another pass rusher from the Vikings. There was a pass rusher from the Vikings that had jumped out of an ambulance, and he was all.
Yeah. Everson Griffin.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, that's the guy. Okay, yeah, my bad. Okay,
he retired. But they're just okay. If I'm going off of odds, and you tell me a quarterback that's never won it, and this is why I'll say it, Fernando, because they kind of remind me of the Bengals in 2021, Joe Burrow's second year. They kind of needed a year to kind of figure it out, and then they went to the Super Bowl. They don't win it. I'm saying CJ Stroud could be in a good position. I don't know if they could beat the Chiefs just yet, but I like them and being in the playoffs. I like them winning the division. I don't really care for the Jaguars, and I get it's that time of year you got to pick different teams. Jaguars don't do it for me. Titans don't do it for me. The Colts, they could hang around, but I'm going to go with CJ Stroud right now. And one more addition for the takeaways here. I think Josh Allen's going to have a better year. I get that Stephon Diggs left them, but maybe having a different offense could help them. I just don't see them going all the way. Something about Josh Allen and Dak Prescott just doesn't seem like a team that might go all the way.
Yeah, I'm giving this point to Fernando. I mean, we've heard Joe Burrow say. I think the biggest thing with Joe Burrow though is he needs to stay healthy for a full season. If he does, I think they have the number of the Chiefs. Like they've been the ones who've been able to figure things out. They still have that defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo. So I'm with Fernando here. Tied up 1-1, guys. As we head up to the third question here. The prospects attending the NFL draft have been declining for the past 5 years. What is the biggest reason players such as J.J. McCarthy, Brock Bowers, and Joe Alt are declining invitations? Is it not wanting to have the cameras on you if you dropped in the draft like we saw with Will Levis last year? Or is it not wanting to go to a city like Detroit? Let me just give you guys just some numbers here. Last year in KC, there was only 17 attendees. The year before that in Cleveland, there was 13. And then in 2022, it was in 2022 is Vegas. They had 23. 2021 in Cleveland, they had 13. And then in 2019 in Nashville, they had 2023. So is it the city or is it the players not wanting to be on camera in case they fall to the second round?
If you would have kind of gave me some different names, I think Joe Alt would be for sure top 15. Obviously, McCarthy's going because he's a quarterback, might be top 15. Brock Bowers, I'm unsure if I've heard top 5 or top 25. Who the hell knows? But I think I'm gonna go off of just being less stressful. Just kind of why are you gonna be in front of the camera? Some people just like being around family and having a good time. Like, why put yourself out there where you're gonna be in the shot? For the last 2 hours of draft because you're not in the top 20 or top 15. You're like, do I want to go the Aaron Rodgers route? Do I really want to do that? Or Lamar Jackson being sad next to his mom? Like, it just the cameras never did the players justice. I could see that. It's just maybe like a chiller vibe, less stressful. I think that's pretty much it. I don't think players were saying I won't be top 20 or top 15.
Well, you also can't bring all your family, and I think some of these guys just want to be around their families, teammates, all that stuff. I think it's a lot. I really think that COVID kind of changed everything when it came to the draft, and I feel like people are kind of like why? I can do it from home. They can just bring the cameras. By the way, the best one still is CeeDee Lamb. When he's on his phone, his girl tries to take his phone, and then he grabs it, and he's like, "Nah."
That could be the downside of being at home, by the way.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's probably not with her anymore. But
oh yeah, sure.
But I really think that that's the issue, that everybody wants to be surrounded by family and friends, and they're kind of like, you have to go there, you have to get dressed up, you have to answer media questions, you have to do all this, and then the behind the scenes, like you have to talk to the media that's there, then you have to talk to the media that's the local media, and then you have to do all this crap, and then after that you have to fly to whatever city whatever city drafted you. So it's like, why not just go from home? You talk to the local media, and then you get to leave and go to the city that drafted you. So and then like Gilbert said, also the JJ McCarthy stuff. I mean, you just never know. Like, some of these guys are really big outliers. You just don't know where you're gonna go. So I completely see why some of these guys just don't want to do it. And then who wants to do that long walk? I mean, why do you want to do that long walk? And then who wants to high five the commissioner? Like, in a couple months, he's going to be fining your ass. So why go up to him? So, but yeah, that's the thing that I think. I think people are kind of like, I'd rather be at home with my family and with my people and having a huge celebration instead of just being there at the draft with only my mom, my dad, brother, sister, girlfriend, whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Fernando. I think that's part of it. I think the city too. I mean, if you look at the lowest ones in the last 5 years, they're Detroit. I mean, it's Detroit and Cleveland. Who wants to go? I mean, there's a reason why Nashville and Vegas have had the most. It's because people want to go to those kind of.
Did they already do it in Kansas City, or is that next year?
No, they did it already. They only had 17 there as well.
That was last year, right? That was last year.
That was last year. So yeah.
I mean, who the hell? I mean. And I know Dan and Dago has beef with the Detroit Lions fans, but why?
Yeah, and then next year is in Green Bay. So I mean, who's gonna want to go to Green Bay?
That one for sure will be a city thing. I think that one for sure.
Yeah. All right. So up to one here. Today is Jackie Robinson Day across MLB, and every player wears number 42 to honor him. Is there an NFL player that should have his number retire across the league for their contributions on and off the field?
Oh shoot, it's me.
You're first, yeah.
I
thought of one because I saw this question. It's gonna stump me.
Okay, I'm gonna use yours. No, I'm not you. I'm not you.
That is the benefit of going first.
No, I don't think so. I just, and I know that there's been a lot of a certain somebody said oh, you know what? Thank you, certain someone. Pat Tillman. I would love to see Pat Tillman get honored for his for obviously him making the ultimate sacrifice, and obviously he passed away while making that ultimate sacrifice. So I would be all for if they wanted to honor Pat Tillman that way. I think it'd be a great thing to see because of obviously we all know what he brought and all of his contribution.
That's actually a pretty good one, and I'm for that too. But I think it should be Jim Brown. There's could be a couple names on here. I don't know why we don't really do that for the NFL. But Jim Brown, number 32 with the Browns, obviously legendary for what he did on the field, off the field, things like that. So why not, the legend right there, Jim Brown, who brought a lot of championships for the city, but unfortunately not Super Bowls because he didn't play during the era of Super Bowls.
Yeah, both great answers. Honestly, I mean, you can't go wrong with. I think it was 42 that he wore. What's his? No,
32.
no,
32.
Jim Brown. But I'm talking about
yeah,
Pat Tillman.
Yeah, I think you're right.
42.
Or is it 44
Yeah.
or 42? Okay.
42.
Yeah,
Okay.
so but I'll give you the point there, Gilbert, because I mean Jim Brown, what he did in the 60s and then putting the NFL on the map. I mean, I'm with you. I'm surprised they haven't retired his number across the league, but and then what he did off the field too, just like Pat Tillman. That's why both of them are great answers. All right, guys, tied up 2-2. We're gonna do some combat sports here. Who and we'll see if Dan and Dago is ready to go. So I want to get through this.
I think he's ready. He looks bored.
Oh, he is ready.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he looks
Who is
bored.
the best? Okay, so because we started this with UFC 300. Who is the best pound for pound fighter right now? Is it Islam, Leon Edwards, Alex Pereira, or Leah Topuria?
My turn.
Yeah.
Okay, and we already kind of gave it away, but that's actually a good amount of lists there. Islam's pretty good. I like Topuria a lot now. Leon Edwards actually has had a nice second half to his career. He came out of nowhere. But Alex Pereira, man, he's on a different level. I get that Asanya beat him one time, but they fought like 8 times. Like, he's going to get him eventually. So he's a freak of nature. He's a monster. When he gets annoyed, he knows how to fight better. Yeah, the whole going bald thing is a pretty cool gimmick. Hands of stones, Potan, Chama. So I like Alex Pereira. Alex, I got to say his first name right. Alex.
You obviously took mine because
Sorry.
I didn't write it in. I think I'm gonna go with Leon Edwards. I mean, obviously he beat Nate Diaz, he beat Usman twice, and then he beat Colby Covington. I think he's done a really good job of, like you said, Gilbert, his second win, the second part of his career. I think he's done a great job, and I feel like Leon Edwards, especially with those 3 names there. I mean, what else do you want? So I'm gonna go Leon Edwards.
Yeah, I'm actually going with Fernando here because he's right. I mean, if you look at I think with Pereira, he's on a hotter streak right now. But in terms of like overall what he's been doing for the past couple of years, I'm gonna give Leon Edwards. I would have Islam 1, Leon Edwards, and then Alex, and Leah Topuria, kind of like what I said. But because you guys, with the 2 names that you guys went with, I like Leon Edwards just because he's done a little bit more, and then the people he's fought and beaten. I mean, remember Usman he was a boring fighter, and we got 2 really good matchups out of it.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to see what happens with the rest of this list. I want to see, we've only seen Islam. He had Volkanovski go up and wait to fight him. I want to see him kind of move around, and I really like what Alex Pereira is doing right now. So, but in terms of what we've seen, I think Leon Edwards, is ahead of Alex, or as of right now.
Jorge, did you see that comeback kid? Come back and won this after Gilbert took the first point. So there you go.
I did want to do one more thing, but because a bigger star is waiting, I'll hold off on it, and we can do it another
It's a good
time.
one, though.
It's a good one, but like that happens not next week, but the week out during the weekend of the NFL.
That's why I wanted to get it in before.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Yeah, I wanted to do it before the draft, but I'll save it for next week. We'll have
Let's make it if you want, make it a segment if you want. That'd be
Yeah, let's do that next week then. But Fernando, congratulations. You end Gilbert's streak of 2 in a row, and now it's your turn. But congratulations.
There you go. Thank you, Vic. Thank you for that. Rapid fire is always fun to add and mix a little bit of something. But
good questions.
I'm gonna be in trouble. Well, yeah, exactly. I'm gonna be in trouble if I don't do this. So, all right. Jorge, this is for you. I think he might be here.
How's everybody doing today? So, I know I thought that was weird too. I don't know. I didn't do it. I didn't. So, Compas on the beat. What do you want to talk about?
I know what you I know what you want to talk about, obviously.
Was it
I
Cody
am
Rhodes
not
reference?
okay. I had something spoiled for me for WWE, but I'm not going to spoil it now. So I'm
You
not.
already checked Instagram too soon?
Jorge. Well, I was in the green room. That's why I was trying to just look at stuff. I don't know.
That was
trying
me
to-
last week. Fernando got me hyped. I kept checking my phone. Like crap. You're just gonna dance?
There he is.
Oh.
Dude,
Where are we gonna go with this, man? Okay, let's be careful here. Let's be careful.
allegedly. I didn't say anything. No one did.
Oh, look
Allegedly.
at the
let's-
video. Hold
keep
on.
using the word.
Watch the video. Watch the
He
video
is
though. Like
killing people on and off the field. Allegedly.
Oh, my
look at the way like
I don't care. Like I totally get.
the beginning part of this is hilarious. Like
Yeah.
they show
The
highlights of him and then they show this stuff. Like,
I
but okay,
totally,
the reason why I did that though is because I actually do have something pretty funny for you guys. But
I just want to say I totally get obviously all the controversy around OJ, but the fact that he rushed for 2,000 yards in 14 games and it has not been broken with 3 extra games. Like, I don't know how no one's, well, I guess maybe they used to talk about him being the best running back ever, but obviously after the alleged, now we don't talk about it.
I'm so sorry. I'm not OJ.
That's hilarious.
He's really dying off it. No pun.
Yeah. Dude, all the memes off of OJ dying, like that was the most glorious thing. It was like, in one of those, God is in one of the memes I saw was like God asking St. Peter, why'd you let OJ in? He's like, well, back in 1972, he averaged 6 yards a carry, 143 yards a game. I figured we needed someone for the flag football league or whatever. And I thought that was kind of funny. So,
Oh man.
yeah, and you've been kind of critical of this new generation of athlete. Did you hear what Tom Brady said about him?
I've seen some clips floating around. I just didn't know what it was. Yeah.
The biggest problem
Oh, he's getting a haircut?
these days, it's all about them. It's all about
Yeah,
them.
I
Their
did see this. Yeah.
social media. And then when it's about me and then not about us, well, there's no way to succeed as a team if all you're doing is thinking about how selfish it is for you to get the attention.
That's,
Wow.
but I just want
This
to
is a
say,
big time interview for him. I've seen him on TikTok like for the last 4 years.
I don't even know who that is, but that's so weird. Like an interview while you're getting your haircut and all that. That was like, I guess it's
That's his
original
whole thing.
stuff.
He interviews people for
Yeah.
a haircut, and he
Well, I
got
guess
big
it's
off
like
of
the
it.
stupid. I guess it's like the stupid ice bath with what's his name.
Tom
Kevin
said
Hart,
that he
like-
Kevin Hart. Tom said he would come.
Kevin
he also
Hart
said
has
in that
been-
interview that he
He's
would
been
come
named in
back
some
to play
things.
for the No, he said the Raiders, the 49ers,
Yeah.
and the Patriots.
He's not coming back. Why would you go back to the Raiders? No offense, Vic, but
But what?
you know-
Okay, let's just say a
He
scenario where
owns them.
what's
Why
his
would he
name get-
play?
he should
what
have
if-
gone back. Oh, that is. Do you imagine? That would be kind of cool. A nice little powder blue cowboy hat with some bolts on
Hey,
the side or something. I
For
don't
this
know.
year, we should make Dan the fan of the year for the Chargers. We should nominate Dan
That would be
fan
a
of the year.
very bad. Oh no, this year would be a good idea. I'd be very happy.
Okay, there you go.
But
We got to do it one last chance. Dan fan of the
but
year.
what was I gonna tell you?
Can you imagine him? I would love to sit in a room where it's just Dan and Jim Harbaugh talking shop the whole time.
I wouldn't even talk. I would just sit there and I just listen to what he's saying. Like the thing about me, right? Just a little, behind the curtain, as the wrestlers say. For instance, we had our first staff meeting last Friday, and last Friday it was a lot of older guys. Some of them have college coaching experience and everything else. And in those meetings, I rarely ever speak because I'm always of the mindset of I can always learn from people. So it's like, why, God gave me one mouth and 2 ears for a reason. Like I'm listening more than I am speaking. Like I know the persona on the show and everything else is a lot different, But trust me, I'm not that interesting. Don't try and win a raffle with you where you get lunch with me. But
we never
I'm
did
always
that. We
listening.
should do that.
Dinner.
I'm always listening. Even from teachers when I'm around teachers who've been in the game forever and everything like that. I'm always just listening, trying to pick up things. So I'm a big observer, listener type guy.
By the way, Dan, what did you make of two of your favorite athletes of all time?
I don't know how you can top the OJ. Oh my god!
Oh man!
You know what's funny?
OJ.
You know what's funny?
Mahomes.
I saw pause it there with those two scumbags hugging and kissing each other. I cannot believe this right here is the most overrated photo of all time. Right there, the most overrated. Every time I talk to Messi fans, I tell them, point to me a time when Messi has dominated a tournament like Ronaldo did in those Champions League tournaments. Everyone forgets, where are most of Messi's goals in the Champions League? In the group stages when they're playing teams from Belgium, from Greece, like random-ass clubs. Where are the knockout goals? Ronaldo, right, in his knockout games, I remember one season of Champions League soccer, scored 3 against Neuer, coming off a World Cup win, no big deal. Scored 3 against Buffon.
Yeah, this is your time, isn't it? Why is a certain member asleep?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't even see. He's on the little screen. Now you threw me off. 3 against Buffon, 2 against Oblak, or 1 against Oblak. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
3 against Oblak.
And then they point to the World Cup, and I tell them every single time, oh, yeah, the World Cup, a time it's never been played, in a country it's never been played. Players were hurt because it was in the middle of the season. On top of that, you have the FIFA president saying, it would be a travesty for Messi not to win a World Cup. Collusion? Possibly. I have no idea.
All of Argentina's World Cups, there's a lot of controversy behind every single one that they won. By the way, I guess it's now good to get Australian players. Aussie. The
what's
Jaguars
funny?
Signed,
who cares? What's funny? I did not believe you when you told me that was a chant until I saw a show, the American Ninja Warrior type. They're literally chanting Aussie, oi, oi, oi. I'm like, that is the most freaking annoying thing I've ever heard.
Never heard of that?
No, I'm talking about, except I'd save one person, but no, I can't say that. I can't say that.
Dan, can I give you a question? Who's more overrated, Mahomes or actually Josh Allen or your boy Messi?
That's a hard one, dude. Oh, sorry. I was going to go to that also. Mahomes being overrated also. Just watch the tape of the Super Bowls, dude.
Josh Allen.
What was I
Mahomes is way better than Josh Allen.
Yeah, I would take Josh Allen, or I would take Mahomes over Josh Allen. I still hate him, but I would take him.
All right.
What was I going to tell you? We're making progress.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to say Messi's more overrated just because he's so global, and I know that would piss off more people. I think I'm gonna go with Messi. Messi to me is the most overrated.
That's the headline of Dan and Dago video this week.
Messi is overrated. That's fine. Bring on the Argentinians. Let's. Hey. Oh no, I was about to say, let's look up the lineage, see where you're from, dude.
I saw your video. Got some more views, in the last couple of days. So
I saw that. Some idiot said, "Oh, the Rock is a bigger draw." Da, 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 da. Yeah, dumbass. I said that. I said he's a big draw.
By the way, she's talking again, Dan.
Who?
Ronda Rousey comments on Logan Paul.
Holy shit! Get this off the screen. Get this off the screen. I'm not wasting airtime on that garbage. Who the hell is that?
Ronda Rousey that she wishes she would have.
I don't care. Go to Oprah. Although, have you seen who Oprah hangs out with? I'd be careful there.
Yeah,
but that's another thing. But allegedly.
Dan, what did you
go on deep cut?
What did you make of this? We're going everywhere.
I'm just see, this to me bothers me so much. This is so, I mean, like this is what bothers me about this generation so much. Like, people think stuff like this is cool when it's like, dude, number one, he's holding up the graduation line, asshole. Number two, you could have probably gotten someone wet with a beer. It just looks so silly. Like,
well, Brittany Mahomes, remember, sprayed all the fans when it was cold in Kansas City with champagne.
Wow, that's a real standard. That's a high standard to compare him to. It's the most. I'm so sick. I'm getting honestly to the point where I'm sick of the Kelsey experiment. Jason is still okay, but after the Kansas City stuff, that was hard for me. I was going through a tough time.
Oh,
and
you know
It's his
what?
brother. What do you expect?
Hold on, I forgot.
I don't
something.
care. I don't care. I like his
forgot
wife
something.
more. She doesn't wear that Kansas
Cool.
City crap.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
not a huge fan of that. Be classy, dude. It's where you're at.
There's
All right,
more
some-
annoyed that Dago content.
Oh, there he is.
What did I do to you? You could have retired an hour and a half ago before I picked you in my fantasy picks. I mean, what did I do, Vic? I've been a fan of yours. Why would you do this to me? Come out of retirement.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
yeah. Whoever that is, I would come out of retirement. You see what happens when he doesn't get what he wants. I'm not too. I'd be a little nervous about that. Allegedly.
There,
Don't-
obviously,
Allegedly.
we-
Can you
Dan, I don't
imagine
know if
what
you
is our
heard.
world gonna look like with no more OJ jokes because he's gone?
Dan,
You can still make them, you know.
Oh yeah, it's
yeah,
not
real
going anywhere
quick,
for me.
before we head
Not
out,
going anywhere for me.
I have something new for you. You are a resident Colorado Buffs expert.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta
insider. Here
come
we
in
go.
Deion Sanders told the New York Post he would only allow Travis Hunter and his son to play. His son. Don't forget about.
Don't forget about Shiloh now. Shiloh in the draft. Don't forget
He
about
said-
Shiloh.
He would only let them play for the Eagles, 49ers, Cowboys, Commanders, Ravens, and Falcons.
Give it
Those
a year.
are all the teams
Give it a
except for
year.
the Eagles.
In a
Those are
year.
all teams that he played for. But
In a-
are you a little bit offended that he didn't mention your team, Dan?
No, I don't want him. Okay. In all seriousness, I'm gonna say this again. I think whatever team decides to take these players, whether it's high or later, I'm not even talking about players actually, just these three, because I feel like he probably only is very active with these three of them. Because supposedly, I think Hunter's been with them since high school or Pop Warner. I don't remember.
What's his son's name? The quarterback?
Shador. Let's see where Shador goes next year in the 3rd round, dude. I don't know. But my thing is this, right? If you are a team looking for a quarterback, looking for a receiver, and a safety, can't forget about Shiloh or a DB or whatever he plays.
I was gonna say, you know his position.
You can't, I would think twice, just because the last thing you need is Deion tweeting, making videos, or God forbid, Deion at the
All
damn
in the
facility,
videos.
all up in the videos. Which, speaking of that, I was listening to going back to Cali today. I'm like, he really was all up in the video
He
over here
was.
at the beginning of the song.
No
Like, dude,
Diddy.
no one's here to hear what you have to say. Like, we're trying to listen to Biggie.
Pro
But,
Football Network has him rated as the 2nd best quarterback in college football. this
Oh,
year.
in college football, why I would rather. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know any of those names. I'm not an
Where's
expert.
Peyton
but-
Manning's son? I mean, nephew.
Shador Sanders.
No,
I don't
because
know.
Quinn Ayers or whatever
Oh,
the hell the way
oh,
he
he's
says the
still-
name. He's still the quarter. He didn't come
You
out
know
in the
what?
draft this year.
I give him credit. He never transferred after that. He didn't get the job this year. Manning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he didn't
no,
transfer.
no. But I would say,
credit.
honestly, next year is probably going to be a year where quarterbacks are whatever's, because supposedly this one's the.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Dan,
Just keep
I don't know
going.
if you know this. Tua Tagovailoa's
Can't get a thought
brother,
in, Dad.
I know.
Awali Tagovailoa.
Again, we're wasting time on this. I don't care.
Hold on. He received tepid reviews. Tagovailoa showed little arm talent. His deep passes displayed little speed and even fluttered according to scouts. What do you think about that, Dan?
Just
What the hell did they say about his brother? His brother went top 5. That guy is just as bad.
miniature
know.
arm strength?
I don't know what these guys, and again, maybe I'm old fashioned. Maybe I don't know diddly squat. I'm just a high school coach. But you're really going to draft a guy top 5 who's had, what did he have? Like hip surgery or something like that? Like he had a bunch of injuries at Alabama. Like everybody, it's like Gilberto right now with The Rock. They're hung up on the past, dude. Like him winning that natty at halftime. Hey, that's like a Vince Young type thing. Great college quarterback. Everything else.
Comparing
Legendary.
Tua Tagovailoa with The Rock, the great
The
one.
Rock's
champ?
equally ass. The Rock's
Get
equally
out
ass.
of here.
The only difference is The Rock actually had a peak.
You're gonna
and
annoy
Tua
him with
has
this
not.
one. We can't even
What's up?
catch a segment.
This is
Keep it going.
easy. This is easy. Who has
All
got
right.
to go? Everyone has to go. All I need is the son of Odin, baby. That's it. Give me Justin Herbert.
Can you rank
know,
them just
it-
for fun?
Rank them for fun. All right, here we go. Obviously, give me the young goat, number 1. Give me Joe Is that how the kids say it? Joe.
Yeah.
Brrr. Give me Joe
Shiesty.
Bertu. Yeah, give me CJ Stroud. Yeah, give me CJ Stroud, and I hate LaFleur, so I'll put him last. There you go. How about that? I can't stand him. But people better watch out. Justin Herbert with bag boys out there in the run game, I think he's going to be pretty damn good this year, especially with Jim Harbaugh.
I'm
not
bad
worried.
boys or bad boys?
Bag boys. I'm not worried,
Oh, okay.
dude. I'm not worried. Like I told my boss today, I'm not worried. The thing about hitting rock bottom, Gilberto, is that all you can do is go up from there. I'm ready, dude. It's on.
Gilbert, when Dan has to do his what's it called, gender reveal?
Nope,
it's
not gonna happen.
Hold on, this is gonna be Dan right here. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
Oh, this one's an oldie but a goodie.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
Yeah, I'd be doing the same thing. Are you kidding? I'd be.
Is that a reaction to like protect the baby and the wife? Okay, pass pro.
No, hell no. He's talking about that's going to be an offensive lineman.
Exactly. That's the whole thing, dude. You made an
like
offensive
instinct.
lineman.
There was like
Dude,
a pop going. I was like, oh.
That's why if I could, I would ask whoever I end up marrying, shout out to the future missus.
Why can't a daughter be an offensive lineman? Don't answer. Sorry.
Are you just, I was about to say, not living in reality? Which, by the way, I think Frown brings up a great point. We were into women's sports before all these stupid campaigns anyway, like wrestling, UFC. When's Thug Rose like coming back to the pay-per-view main card? I want to see Thug Rose. This is so fun.
Did you enjoy the Zhang Wei Li fight?
Are you shitting me? Oh, thank you for bringing that up. I got a point for that. This is so easy. I'm not gonna just cut Tua. I'm gonna stuff him in a cannon, and I'm gonna send him to the freaking moon to get him the hell out of here. I'm starting the young goat, and Joe Burr is gonna be my clipboard Jesus, taking notes, watching the young goat.
That's a good backup you have there,
dude. Honestly, I want to give so much credit to. Okay, don't call me names or think I'm a bad guy if I mess up her name, but Jon, is that how I say it? Jon, the other one?
Yeah.
The one in
I
white?
think so. I want to say yeah.
Okay. What did he laugh at? What did I say?
Get your thoughts out. Come on.
Okay.
This has been a whirlwind here for me.
Okay.
For you.
Jon, right? The one in white, the one that was not Wang Zayli or whatever her name is. And I apologize again if I brilliant.
He didn't say the other Asian one at least.
No, I said the one in white. That was her.
Yeah,
that was her tank in her bottom.
The other one.
You're an idiot. You're making me look bad, guy.
He's trying to get you in trouble.
I know. I'm trying to pay a compliment. What are we doing? But in all honesty, like seriously, the fact that she chose to go to sleep and wake up in the middle of the round rather than give up on her dream of being a world champion, that was the fight. That was like the performance of the night for me. Like I was watching that and I saw her kind of wiggle and shake in the middle of the round. I was like, dude, like you have to respect that. Like,
do you think she knew there was 10 seconds to go? She's like, I'm going to sleep.
No, 100% she did, because she was looking at the clock. Like you could see, she was working her hands and then her eyes kind of, looked down. I think she was looking at the clock. But in my opinion, hey, even if she didn't know, how easy would it have been to throw in the towel? Right? She was already asleep. She was waking up limp, and in my opinion, I think too many people in life, don't have that type of drive where I totally respect the hell out of her. Like, I hope she gets another shot at the title soon or whatever. I agree. I hope she has a great career. But, the fact that she had so much conviction to get put to sleep, wake up in the middle of the round. And if you notice, she tried to put her away like very soon after. And in the next rounds when she got tired, like the fact that she lasted all 5 rounds, dude, shout out to freaking, again, I don't know if I butchered the name or not. Jon, like she has I'm a fan of hers now just because of that. That was so badass, dude. Like, and like I said, women UFC fighting, awesome. Women's wrestling, awesome. I love it. Oh my God. You're pulling out all the memes.
No, well, okay.
Gilberto's nervous. He doesn't like the memes. Dude, that AI stuff is getting crazy though.
Dan, who has more at stake this season, Dak or Tua?
Oh, 100%. Well, I guess they both do. I would say they both do. And that's not me trying to take a neutral standpoint, but they're both the same person. Dak and Tua have had teams They've both, been hurt here and there. I think Tua a little bit more. They both have had players around them. At one point it was, who did he have? CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, and I think Zeke was all right, but he had a solid run game. Still couldn't do anything. Couldn't even win a playoff game at home or on the road or whatever it was. Tua, same thing. He hasn't been able to win a playoff game. And again, I think they both have a lot of soul searching to do, those two franchises, because I think I still don't think Tua's the guy. I don't think he's ever going to be the guy. If I was, Mike McDaniel, because the thing about this right now is both Mike McDaniel and McCarthy are coaching for their jobs. Like, I think this upcoming season, maybe not McDaniel, but McCarthy for sure.
There should be pressure on year 3 from McDaniel, though. I'll say that.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
I can't wait till Gilbert writes that.
They've had players on those teams. They've had good players. And what do they have to show for it? Early playoff exits. Like, what was the Cowboys' deal this year? They exited the first round, I think, right?
They lost
at home. You're right. It was the
seed.
Green Bay Packers. You're right. It's unbelievable. They lost to the Green Bay Packers at home. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I don't think either of those teams will do much. I think McCarthy will probably get fired. They'll move on from Dak, which in my opinion, I thought they overpaid Dak. They shouldn't have paid him that much. They should have let him walk. But again, Dan and Dago hates quarterbacks except one. So it is what it is.
We appreciate Dan for his time. Dan, we're going to let you go now. We appreciate it. I'll see you in a couple minutes.
Good 10 minutes with Dan.
Exactly. Thank you to Vic, the producer, for rapid fire. Thank you to Dan and Dago for 10 minutes with Dan. Make sure you guys all tune in to go watch the clip out. If you guys didn't come in time to watch that, rapid fire will be up. So will Dan and Dago by tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in. Gilbert and I have a busy week. So tomorrow we will not be doing the episode. The episode was today. There's a lot of craziness happening within the next couple of days. So it was today. So Gilbert sent us out today. So we're just letting you guys know. Tuesday, no show. Wednesday, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney preview with, can I say the name or?
Yeah, he said he's down to jump on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Greg Bishop will be jumping on to talk, to preview Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. Is Devin just a clear-cut favorite, or is Ryan just BSing all of us with all of his antics? Because supposedly he proposed to somebody. I don't know who he proposed to, but so is that all antics, or is he really in it, and does he have a chance? We'll get into that. Friday, Gilbert and I will we will go live most likely on Friday from Brooklyn, wherever, I don't know where the press conference is.
It's at the Barclays in Brooklyn.
Okay, at the Barclays.
That'll be a little earlier than the fight, so I think we could do it.
Yeah, so Gilbert and I will be going to Brooklyn for the Devin Haney Ryan Garcia fight. We'll be there for the weigh-in on Friday, and then Saturday we'll be there for the fight. So I hope you guys can tune in. Friday, obviously, we'll talk with Emmanuel Morgan from the New York Times. He'll be there too, so we'll preview the fight. And then Saturday, we'll try and do something, but we may just record something after and post it because it might be too hectic. I have a 6 a.m. flight. Gilbert has a 7:30 a.m. flight. So it might be crazy just like UFC was, but we'll try and get that out to you guys. And then we'll decide next week. Luna's Live will still be back. We'll see if we have a guest. Actually, we will. We are slated to have Tyler Dragon on next Monday for Luna's Live to get into
it's draft
everything
week next week.
It's draft week, bro. Like this month has been nuts. And we still have a little bit to go, hopefully. So, yeah, we will be in Brooklyn for the Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney fight. So we'll have a bunch of content from there. Our UFC content was incredible. We're hoping that our content for this weekend is great.
Fernando, when we go live on Friday, we should have the banner say Compas on the East Coast. How about that? That'd be kind of cool.
We're
Brooklyn at. We're Brooklyn.
Exactly. You know what? We should do it from a pizza shop or something. Like one of the famous pizza shops in Brooklyn. We'll just go live from there. But
don't kick me out when I say, can you put pineapples on that pizza pie? Get it the hell out of here, LA guy.
Oh, you like pineapple on pizza?
Oh, for sure, all the way, brother.
Oh, so do I. I do too. I think it's fantastic. Dan doesn't like it though.
We're from the West Coast, that's why.
Probably. But again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, it's gonna be a crazy couple of days, but we hope you guys tune in. Then next week, it's all draft week. Jorge, again, Thursday we will be doing something during the draft, so make sure you guys are all tuned in. Obviously, the Chargers will be drafting 5. They could jump up, down. Everybody's going with this Rams narrative. I told you, Gilbert, that they're gonna break that streak. What if they drop out and they trade down? So I think that would be funny if Sean McVay just has F them picks again and decides to trade out again. But they haven't drafted anybody in the first round since Jared Goff, so that'll be interesting to see. But make sure you guys all tune in. We're so excited about these next 3 weeks. Then after that, we may take a little bit of a break. Who knows? But again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter. Don't forget to check out everything else on Compas on the Beat. If you guys missed any of the interviews over the weekend from the UFC 300, make sure you guys check them out. They're all there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, thank you for rocking with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell a compa, be a compa. Hit the little notification button so that anytime we go live, you guys are the first to know. But for the time being, Gilbert, ¿sabes qué? Vámonos.
And don't forget to subscribe to the Compas on the Beat newsletter. Go to compasonthebeat.com. Find the shiny gold box. That's all I ask from you. Put the email in the shiny gold box. Compas on the Beat. There you go. But yeah, what an April. On to Brooklyn. Here we go to the East Coast. Compas on the East Coast. But on that note, ya nos vamos. Pues, vámonos.